On a dreary October's day, I embarked on a 4-day solo hike of Tasmania's iconic and spectacular Frenchman's Cap. Frenchman's Cap is situated in Tasmania's rugged West Coast region and is part of the Franklin-Gordon Wild Rivers National Park. The summit has a towering elevation of 1,446 metres, qualifying it as one of the Ables, the group of 158 Tasmanian mountains above 1,100 metres. We first cross one of two major rivers, Franklin River, which runs a length of 129 kilometres. Well, we're just on day one of our Frenchman's Cap walk. Only been going for about half an hour. Got 14 kilometres to get into the first hut tonight, or campsite if I'm in the tent. Should take us about 4 to 6 hours. Get there, have a bit of a late lunch, set up, chill out and enjoy Lake Vera. Let's go. We again negotiate another suspension bridge, this time to cross the beautiful Loddon River. We eventually arrive at our first camp, Vera Hut, located right next to Lake Vera. The hut is the second hut to be built and was completed in 1978. The first hut was built way back in 1962. Well, we made it into Vera Hut, just on Lake Vera here. Good 5.5 hour walk, pretty muddy and pretty wet, but an amazing day. Probably took me a good 5.5 hours, completely rat shit at the end of it, but glad I'm here, looking forward to the next 3 days.
slowly make our way up a very steep ascent, and eventually we are rewarded with some spectacular views atop Barren Pass. As the day went on, the weather got worse, but I was rewarded with some awesome alpine conditions to hike in. After a steep decline, we arrive at Tahune Hut, incorrectly pronounced by most as Tahune. Tahune Hut was built in 2018 and is absolutely amazing. It is the first hydro-heated hut in Tasmania and is more like a small ski lodge than a bushwalker's hut. Needless to say, it was a warm welcome and a great night's sleep. On day 3, it was time to make the final ascent to the summit. The final push proved to be quite challenging in the cold and icy conditions. At times the visibility was very limited, which made following the track slightly difficult. I can honestly say I missed the track more than once.
Well, we made it to the top of Frenchman's Cap. Everything's a little bit elusive up here, not much to see. The sun doesn't want to come out, but still breathtaking nonetheless. And it's finally good to get to the top of this stunning feature and shake hands with the Frenchman.
As the sun rose on the final morning, it was time to soak up and enjoy the final few hours of this spectacular part of Tasmania. Frenchman's Cap didn't fail to deliver, and I can't wait to come back again sometime soon.